Hello everybody, welcome back to Foolproof. Today you'll have to bear with me because this might seem to go off on different tangents, but it'll all come down to a common denominator in the end. I want to go into defining politicians or politics. So bear with me and understand that right now most of us had the impression of living under a democracy. And in a democracy, in almost any constitution in the free world, you have this phrase, we the people. So when leaders come out and they give themselves this title, we the leaders, that is not correct. They are not leaders. They are representatives of the people. They are civil servants. So when somebody comes out and he starts bullying you because they've given themselves this authority to do this, it's not lawful. No. Don't say no, it's the law, it's this and that. It's not lawful. They are representatives. That's all they are. And when they come out and they say, we lead, what kind of leaders are they? They're just on a dog leash like all of us. They're just puppets, like talking heads, to the guys that pay their campaign money. Yeah. Like the lobbyists. They just sway to whoever can convince them to fork out enough money to convince them to pass some law or whatever. And that's all for their benefit. Can you get that through your heads? You're not being guided as a nation. There's just interest involved. Okay? So, what's funny to me, and especially now, because I used to play tennis, competitive tennis, and what is happening now in Australia with Djokovic, that's something that's just out of this world, Why? Because you have people saying, he didn't follow the rules and this and that, and now you've noticed that you cannot mention a certain word because it always gets blooped out in any kind of news media or whatever. It just gets, just blooped out like a swear word. It's a swear word right now. Why? We're getting back to the principle of freedom of speech, okay? What's funny in Australia right now, or with these leaders, especially in Australia, because Australia and another country that I'll mention later on, that you have these leaders and they come out with this bulldog stance, growling at their own population, Mr. Everybody, every day, Mr. and Mrs. every day, housewives, mothers, fathers, whatever. They come out with this bulldog stance, growling at them and everything, because of a stupid mandate. Okay? And let's just say it's stupid. I'm just using the word stupid because now after 2 or 3 years, I hope it starts to sink in your heads. I hope so, because if it doesn't, 10 years from now, we'll all have to have like 2 or 3 jobs to go wherever we want. Okay, it's paperwork, it's more administration fees, it's more this and that. For what? Humanity has gone on for about 1 million years with this. Let me tell you something. As a boomer, you know what a boomer is? It's somebody that's post-war born, and I'm around 65 years old. I went through about 15 bad flus in my life. Like bad. Like I was in bed every 4 years, you get it. And I was in bed for about 4 or 5 days with a fever of about what can you say? In centigrade, like 40 or something. Aches like you thought you were going to die. Your head was about to explode. Got out of it. I'm still here. That's your immune system. That's the booster that makes your immune system stronger. I can explain this. I'm not an expert. I can explain this to you about 1 million times. You've got all these experts going around. Of course they want to sell you drugs. Of course they want to do this. Of course they want to put you under their thumbs. And you're just going to go there and say, well, yeah, that's up to you. Okay, do it. I'm just explaining that most of people my age went through that, and we're a lot tougher and we're a lot more resilient. Okay? You've got people now, I can't understand, this world is going nuts. They're giving kids like local anesthetics because they can't take like a hypodermic needle anymore. Where are we coming to? Are you going to put these guys in the army? Let's get back to Djokovic. So these guys are there taking a stance against their population, pitting everybody against, everybody's an enemy, everybody, you know, has to look out for one another, everybody's like talking, like whispers, like, you can't say this. What has Australia gone to? What has it come to? Well, I'm going to tell something to Australia and all governments that are like this right now. I always had a dream to go to Australia and New Zealand. Like, that was paradise for me. You know, that was my life dream. I wanted to visit these countries. And now, to hell with it. And I guess, well, a lot of restaurants and hotels and stuff, they don't want my money down there. It seems as if they don't. They're just too concerned, like, to keep everybody safe and go on with this hysteria and just keep on going, and the government's there and it's growling and it's pointing its finger at the world and say, these are the rules. Yeah. What they're afraid of is civil unrest. And that's what they came out and said it right now. We're afraid of civil unrest. But civil unrest is like people going against them, right? That's civil unrest. And they're afraid of that, you know? Stirring up civil unrest. But civil unrest doesn't mean a revolution. It doesn't mean taking over the government or whatever. Civil unrest, at times, is not always wrong. Just as authority is not always right. You can be authoritative, but you can give somebody false directions or whatever, and it'll turn into chaos. So why is it that we automatically say civil unrest is bad, authority is good? No. Look at all the shit we're in right now. And don't tell me it's not true. We're in shit. Look at how life was before 2019. So what I've decided to do, I'm just alone. Like I said, I'm just alone. I'm a loner here. My part is, as a devoted tennis fan, I watched every tournament that ever existed. I am not going to watch the Australian Open. It is not fair. Not all the best players are there. Australia doesn't need my viewership, obviously. I will not go to Australia. I'll keep my money to myself, buy myself a lawn chair or something, go outside, have a nice day in the garden. I don't care. Right? If that's the way it is. And for Australia, Down Under has taken on a new meaning.